There are moments in your life that don't feel like anything at first. Ordinary days, quiet hours, nothing dramatic, nothing loud, nothing that would make you stop and say, "This is the moment everything changes." But what if I told you that one of those days is about to become the turning point of your entire path? May 17th. Not just a date on a calendar. Not just another passing day in your routine. No, this date has already been marked. In. Sealed. What? And something is moving toward you. You may have felt it already, haven't you? That strange shift in your energy. The unexplainable restlessness. The feeling like something is about to happen, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. You've tried to ignore it. You've told yourself it's just stress, just overthinking, just another passing emotion. But deep down you know, this is different. There's been a quiet stirring in your spirit, a subtle pull you couldn't explain. Moments where your thoughts drifted without warning. Times when you felt like you were being prepared for something, even though nothing around you seemed to change. That's not coincidence. That's not random. That is alignment. And now, the message has reached you at the exact moment it was meant to. Not earlier. Not later. Right now. Because what is coming next requires your awareness before it arrives. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity, not confusion. And when his presence draws near, it is never casual. It is intentional. Precise. Urgent. He says, a person is coming. Not a stranger. Not someone completely unknown. No, this will feel familiar. Comfortable. Almost natural. That's what makes this moment so important. Because what they carry is not visible on the surface. It's hidden. And here's where everything begins to shift. Have you ever met someone who seemed ordinary at first but later realized they changed something inside you? Maybe they said one sentence that stayed with you. Maybe they opened a door you didn't even know existed. Or maybe they brought something into your life that looked like a blessing, but later revealed itself as something else entirely. That's why this warning matters. Because not every gift looks like a gift at first, and not every arrival is what it seems. You are being positioned right now, in this very moment, to see what others would miss. You recognize what others would overlook, to feel what others would ignore. But here's the truth you need to hear clearly. If you are not spiritually alert, you could misread this moment completely. You could welcome something meant to test you. You could reject something meant to elevate you. You could overlook the very key that unlocks your next level. And that is exactly why this message could not wait. Because when this person arrives at your door, whether physically, digitally, or unexpectedly through conversation, you will only have a brief window to recognize what is truly being placed in front of you. A hidden gift. A disguised opportunity. A moment that carries more weight than it appears. And Archangel Michael is not just warning you, he is preparing you. Preparing your mind to stay clear. Preparing your spirit to stay grounded. Preparing your heart to stay discerning. Because something is about to cross your path, and once it does, there is no rewinding the moment. You will either see it or you will miss it. And right now, as you hear these words, something inside you is already responding. And quiet voice. That inner knowing. That sense that says, pay attention, this matters. Yes, it does. Because May 17th is not approaching you randomly. It is approaching you on assignment. And what happens on that day will depend on one thing: whether you are ready to see beyond what is visible. Whether you are willing to trust what you feel. Whether you choose awareness over assumption. This is not just a message. This is your early warning. This is your preparation moment. This is your invitation to step into awareness before the door even knocks. So stay with this, don't rush past it, don't dismiss it, because what comes next will reveal why this person is being sent and what they truly carry for you. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is now activated. There is a question rising within you right now, whether you admit it or not. A quiet, persistent whisper asking, "Why me?" Out of all the people, all the paths, all the timelines that could have unfolded today, why did this message find you? Why did your eyes land here, in this exact moment, hearing these exact words, feeling this exact stirring in your spirit? This is not random, and it is not casual. There is a reason you were chosen to hear this warning before the event itself unfolds, and that reason is deeply connected to who you are becoming. You have always been different, even if you never had the language to explain it. You have sensed things others overlooked. You have felt shifts before they became visible. You have walked into rooms and immediately picked up on energies that others dismissed as nothing. And many times, you doubted yourself for it. You questioned your instincts. You told yourself you were overthinking, imagining, or being too sensitive. But what you called confusion was actually perception. What you called overthinking was actually discernment trying to awaken inside you. Archangel Michael is not speaking to everyone right now. His voice does not scatter without purpose. It lands with precision, with intention, with divine accuracy. And the fact that you are hearing this means something has already been activated within you. You are not being informed by accident. You are being prepared because you have the capacity to recognize what others will miss. You have the ability to pause when others rush. You have the awareness to question what others accept without thought. And that is exactly why this warning had to reach you first. There are people around you who will encounter the same situation, the same person, the same moment on May 17th, but they will not see it the way you are meant to see it. They will react on impulse. They will respond from habit. They will interpret based on surface-level understanding. But you are being invited into something deeper. You are being called to see beyond appearances, beyond words, beyond the immediate emotional reaction that tries to take control in critical moments. This is not just about what is coming. It is about how you meet what is coming. Your life has been quietly preparing you for this. Every moment of confusion, every time you felt misunderstood, every season where things did not make sense, all of it has been shaping your ability to discern truth from illusion. You thought those moments were delays. You thought they were obstacles. But they were actually training grounds. They were refining your awareness, sharpening your instincts, and building a level of inner clarity that cannot be easily shaken. And now, that preparation is about to be tested in a way that will reveal just how far you have come. There is also something else you need to understand. This warning is not being given to you because you are in danger. It is being given to you because you are in position. There is a difference. Danger creates fear, but position requires awareness. You are not being targeted. You are being trusted. Trusted with information before it unfolds. Trusted with insight before it becomes obvious. Trusted with a moment that could easily be misunderstood if you were not ready to receive it correctly. And yet, even with this preparation, there is still a choice you must make. Awareness without action means nothing. You can hear this message, feel its weight, sense its importance, and still allow the moment to pass you by if you do not remain present when it matters. That is why this section is not just explaining why you were chosen. It is reminding you that being chosen comes with responsibility. You must stay alert. You must stay grounded. You must resist the urge to fall back into old patterns of reacting too quickly or dismissing your inner voice. Because when this person arrives, they will not announce the significance of the moment. They will not reveal the hidden nature of what they carry. Everything will appear normal on the surface, and that is where your role becomes critical. You are the one who must slow down the moment. You are the one who must listen beyond the words being spoken. You are the one who must feel what is not being said. This is where your awareness becomes your protection and your guide. There is a reason your spirit responded the moment you read the title. There is a reason you did not scroll past. There is a reason you are still here, absorbing every word. Something within you recognized that this message carries weight, that it holds significance beyond simple curiosity. That recognition is not something you created, it is something you receive. It is the alignment between your awareness and the timing of what is unfolding. So do not ignore that feeling. Do not reduce it to coincidence. Do not talk yourself out of what you already sense is true. You were chosen to hear this first because you are meant to respond differently. You are meant to approach this moment with clarity instead of confusion, with stillness instead of reaction, with discernment instead of assumption. And that difference in your response will determine everything that follows. Stay with this awareness. Let it settle into you. Let it guide you as the moment approaches. Because what is coming next will reveal more about the person who is being sent and the true nature of the gift they carry. And when that moment arrives, you will understand exactly why you had to know this in advance. Type ISE clearly in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2222 is now surrounding you. Something is already in motion, even now as you sit with this message. You may not see it yet. You may not hear it yet, but in the unseen layers of your life, alignment has already begun. Paths are crossing. Timing is being arranged. Conversations are being positioned. And the person Archangel Michael spoke of is closer than you think. This is not a distant event waiting weeks or months to unfold. No, this is near. This is approaching. This is already stepping into your orbit, moving through the same spaces you move, preparing to intersect with your reality in a way that will feel almost accidental. But you must understand clearly, it is not accidental. It is intentional, and it carries purpose far deeper than surface-level interaction. When this person arrives, nothing about them will immediately signal importance. There will be no dramatic entrance, no overwhelming sign, no clear announcement that says, "Pay attention, this is the moment." In fact, the subtlety of their presence is exactly what makes this encounter so powerful. They will seem normal. Their words will seem casual. Their approach will feel natural. And yet, beneath all of that, something far more significant will be unfolding. You have experienced moments like this before, though perhaps you did not recognize them at the time. Encounters that seemed small but later revealed their weight. Conversations that felt ordinary but planted seeds that changed your direction. People who entered your life quietly but left an imprint that could not be erased. This moment carries that same energy, but stronger, more precise, more intentional. Archangel Michael reveals that this person is not just arriving randomly. They are being sent with an assignment, and that assignment is connected to you, not to everyone around you, not to the general environment, to you specifically. That is why this preparation is necessary, because without awareness, you might treat this encounter like any other passing interaction. You might respond on autopilot. You might miss the deeper layer entirely. There is something about you that has drawn this moment closer. Your growth, your recent shifts, the internal changes you have been experiencing. all of it has created a ripple that is now attracting this encounter into your life. You have been evolving, even in ways you did not fully recognize. Your thinking has been changing. Your awareness has been expanding. Your sensitivity to truth has been increasing. And with that growth comes moments like this, moments that test whether you truly see differently now, or if you will fall back into old patterns of perception. This person will carry something that does not belong to them alone. It is something meant to pass through them to you. That is why their role is so specific. They are not the source. They are the vessel. And vessels do not always understand the full weight of what they carry. That means you cannot rely on them to explain the significance of the moment. You cannot expect them to reveal everything clearly. The responsibility to recognize what is happening will fall on you. And this is where many people fail. They wait for clarity to come from outside, instead of trusting what they feel inside. They wait for obvious signs, instead of paying attention to subtle shifts. They look for confirmation in words, instead of sensing truth in presence. But you are being trained differently. You are being prepared to recognize without needing everything to be explained. There is also something important you must remain aware of. Not every assignment comes wrapped in comfort. Not every meaningful encounter feels easy at first. Sometimes the most important moments come disguised as confusion, as unexpected interruption, as something that does not fit neatly into your expectations. This is why you must remain steady. You must not rush to ladle the moment too quickly. You must allow it to unfold while staying aware. When this person speaks, listen beyond the surface. When they act, observe without immediate judgment. When you feel something shift within you, do not ignore it. That internal response is your guide. That quiet reaction, that subtle awareness, that sense that something is different, that is what you must trust. Because here is the truth Archangel Michael is revealing. This encounter will not repeat itself in the same way. This is a window, a precise moment, and once it passes, it will not circle back for a second chance in the same form. That is why your awareness must be present the first time. That is why you are being prepared now, before it happens. You are not being told to fear this person. You are not being told to resist them. You are being told to recognize, to stay awake, to remain grounded in your awareness so that when the moment arrives, you are not caught off guard. This is not about overthinking. This is about seeing clearly. This is not about suspicion. This is about discernment. This is not about hesitation. This is about awareness. And as this moment draws closer, something within you will begin to sharpen. You will feel more alert, more present, more aware of small details you might have overlooked before. That is not coincidence. That is preparation activating inside you. Stay ready. Stay aware. Because what this person carries is not random, and what you do in that moment will determine how that hidden gift unfolds in your life. Type "I am alert" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3333 is now activated. As this revelation settles into your spirit, understand this. Every message like this is a seed planted into someone's life at the exact moment they need it most. There are people right now, just like you, standing on the edge of a divine encounter. But without guidance, they may miss it. When you choose to support this mission through Super Thanks or PayPal, you are not giving to a channel. You are becoming part of a spiritual harvest, helping light reach those still in darkness. The word declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And this is not just a verse. It is a living promise being activated over your life right now. I feel led to say this clearly. I am stepping into this moment, not just as a listener, but as a vessel of support for others who need this truth. Your seed becomes someone else's awakening. Your generosity becomes someone else's clarity. So act now. Sow into this mission through the PayPal link in the description or the QR code on your screen, and step into the flow of divine multiplication. Now the question becomes unavoidable, and you can already feel it forming in your thoughts even before it is spoken aloud. What exactly is this gift? What is it that this person carries that requires this level of preparation, this level of awareness, this level of spiritual attention? And more importantly, why does it feel like there is both promise and warning surrounding it at the same time? Because this is not a simple exchange. This is not just a moment where something is handed to you and everything becomes clear. No, what is coming carries layers. It carries depth. It carries meaning that will not reveal itself fully in a first glance, in a first conversation, or even in the first impression. And that is where the true nature of this gift begins to unfold. Archangel Michael makes this clear. Not every gift is meant to be immediately accepted, and not every opportunity is meant to be immediately trusted. Some gifts are meant to reveal something within you before they ever give something to you. Some are designed to test your discernment, to stretch your awareness, to challenge the way you interpret what is placed in front of you. And this is where many lose clarity. Because when something appears as a gift, the natural response is to receive it without question, to assume it is positive, to assume it is aligned, to assume it is meant to be embraced fully and immediately. But what if the purpose of this gift is not just to give but to reveal how you respond? What if it is meant to show you whether you have truly grown, whether your awareness has truly sharpened, whether your discernment is active or still dormant? This is why you must slow down. You must resist the urge to react quickly, to label the moment too soon, to decide its meaning before you have allowed it to fully unfold. Because the truth is, this gift carries two possible paths. One leads to elevation, to alignment, to something that moves you forward in a way you did not expect. The other leads to confusion, to distraction, to something that pulls your focus away from what truly matters. And the difference between those two paths is not the gift itself. It is you. It is how you see it. It is how you respond to it. It is how deeply you are willing to look beyond the surface. This is what Archangel Michael is preparing you for. Not to fear the moment, but to meet it with clarity. Not to reject what comes, but to understand it before you accept it. Because the same object, the same words, the same opportunity can mean two completely different things depending on your awareness. There is something within you that already knows this. You have experienced moments before where something felt right at first, only to later reveal itself as misaligned. And you have also experienced moments where something felt uncertain at first, but later became a turning point that changed everything. Those experiences were not random. They were training your ability to pause, to observe, to feel beyond what is immediately visible. And now, that training is about to be used. This gift may come in the form of an offer, a suggestion, a piece of information, or even a simple conversation that seems insignificant at first. But within it, there will be something that stands out, something that does not fully align on the surface, something that requires you to look deeper, to question, to remain present instead of drifting into automatic acceptance. Do not ignore that moment. Do not silence that internal signal, because that signal is your guide. Archangel Michael is not asking you to reject the gift. He is asking you to understand it, to see it clearly, to recognize whether it is aligned with your path or simply placed in front of you to test whether you have learned to see beyond appearances. There is also something else you must hold on to. Not every test is meant to block you. Some tests are meant to unlock the next level of your awareness. Some are meant to confirm that you are ready for what comes next. And if you meet this moment with clarity, with stillness, with true discernment, what may have appeared uncertain at first could become something that opens a new path in your life. But if you rush, if you assume, if you react without awareness, you may misinterpret the moment entirely. And that is why this preparation is happening now, before the person arrives, before the gift is placed in front of you, before the moment unfolds. You are being reminded that not everything is as it appears, and not everything that looks like a blessing is meant to be received without understanding. But at the same time, not everything that feels uncertain is meant to be rejected. This is the balance you must hold. This is the awareness you must maintain. Because the gift itself is neutral until you engage with it. It becomes a blessing or a distraction based on your response. So when the moment comes, do not rush. Do not assume. Do not react from habit. Pause. Observe. Feel. And allow your awareness to guide you beyond the surface. Because what this gift truly is will not be revealed to those who look quickly. It will only be revealed to those who are willing to see deeply. Type "I discern the truth" in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 4444 is now activated. Before anything arrives physically, before any words are spoken, before any interaction takes place, something else always moves first. The atmosphere. The unseen environment around you begins to shift long before events become visible, and if you are paying attention, you can feel it even now. There is a subtle change taking place within you and around you, something that cannot be explained logically but is impossible to ignore once you notice it. You may have felt it as a restlessness that came without a clear reason, a sense that something is different, even though your surroundings appear the same. Moments where your thoughts seem sharper, more alert, more aware of small details that previously went unnoticed. Or perhaps the opposite, brief waves of confusion, distraction, or emotional heaviness that seem to come and go without explanation. These are not random fluctuations. These are signals. The spiritual atmosphere is adjusting in preparation for what is about to unfold. Archangel Michael reveals that before any significant encounter, there is always a shift in energy, a recalibration, a movement that aligns timing, awareness, and circumstance so that the moment can occur exactly as it is meant to. And right now, you are standing in the middle of that adjustment. You are not waiting for the moment. You are already inside the preparation phase of it. This is why your awareness is being heightened. This is why you feel more sensitive to your environment. This is why certain things that once felt normal now feel slightly off. Because your perception is being tuned, refined, elevated. But here is where you must be careful. When the atmosphere shifts, it does not only bring clarity, it can also bring distraction. It can create emotional noise, mental clutter, and subtle disturbances designed to pull your focus away from what truly matters. You might find yourself overthinking small things, reacting more quickly than usual, or feeling pulled in multiple directions at once. These are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is moving. And your role is not to get lost in that movement. Your role is to stay grounded within it. Archangel Michael is not asking you to control the atmosphere. He is asking you to remain steady while it changes. Because the more stable you are internally, the clearer you will see externally. The more calm your mind remains, the more accurately you will interpret what is placed in front of you. There is also something else happening that you must recognize. Certain patterns around you may begin to repeat themselves in subtle ways. Conversations that feel familiar. situations that resemble past experiences, emotional triggers that seem to rise unexpectedly. This is not coincidence. This is part of the preparation. It is revealing what still has influence over your reactions, what still has the power to pull you into automatic responses. And this is your opportunity to respond differently. Because if you can remain aware during these smaller moments, you will be ready for the larger one when it arrives. The atmosphere is not just shifting around you, it is testing your stability within it. You may also notice changes in the people around you. Some may seem more distant, others more present. Some interactions may feel heavier, while others feel unexpectedly light. These shifts are not random either. They are part of the realignment taking place, subtly repositioning you so that the right moment can meet you without interference. Do not try to force understanding in every detail. Do not try to control every feeling that arises. Instead, observe. Notice. Stay present. Because the more you resist the shift, the more confusing it will feel. But the more you allow it while staying grounded, the clearer everything becomes. Archangel Michael emphasizes this clearly. Clarity does not come from forcing answers. It comes from maintaining awareness while the answers reveal themselves. This is why stillness is so important right now. Not physical stillness, but internal stillness. The ability to pause before reacting. The ability to listen before responding. The ability to feel without immediately judging what you feel. Because in this state, your discernment becomes sharper than ever before. And when the moment arrives, when the person steps into your space, when the interaction begins, you will not be caught off guard. You will already be aligned with the shift that brought them to you. This is not just preparation for an event. This is preparation of your awareness. You are being tuned to recognize what others will overlook. You are being positioned to remain steady when others react. You are being aligned to see clearly when the moment unfolds. So do not ignore what you are feeling right now. Do not dismiss the subtle changes. Do not brush off the internal signals as meaningless. They are guiding you. They are preparing you. They are aligning you with what is about to happen. Stay grounded in this. Stay aware. Because the atmosphere is not shifting without purpose. It is shifting for you. Type "I am grounded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 5555 is now surrounding you. There is a difference between seeing and truly perceiving, and that difference is about to define everything for you. Many people move through life relying only on what is visible, only on what is spoken, only on what feels obvious in the moment. But you are not being called to operate at that level anymore. You are being called to see beyond appearances, to recognize what is not immediately presented, to understand what exists beneath the surface of what seems simple. This is where discernment becomes your greatest strength. Discernment is not suspicion. It is not fear. It is not overanalyzing every detail until you feel overwhelmed. True discernment is quiet. It is steady. It does not rush to conclusions, and it does not need constant validation. It simply observes, feels, and understands without forcing clarity. And right now, that ability is being activated within you at a deeper level than before. You may have noticed this already in small ways. Moments where something did not feel right even though everything looked fine. Times when someone's words sounded correct, but something beneath them felt misaligned. Instances where your instinct paused you before you made a decision, even when there was no logical reason to hesitate. That was discernment beginning to awaken. And now, it is being sharpened for what is coming next. When this person arrives, they will present themselves in a way that feels natural. There will be no obvious sign that says, "Look deeper." In fact, everything may appear smooth, comfortable, even positive on the surface. But this is where your role becomes critical, because the truth of the moment will not be found in what is obvious. It will be found in what is subtle. Listen carefully to how you feel in their presence, not the surface emotion, but the deeper response beneath it. Notice if your mind becomes unusually quiet or unusually restless. Pay attention to whether you feel clarity or subtle confusion. These are not random reactions. They are indicators. Discernment does not always speak in words. Sometimes it speaks through a feeling that cannot be explained immediately. A slight hesitation, a moment of pause, a quiet awareness that something requires more attention before it is accepted. Many people ignore this because it is not loud. It does not demand attention. But that quiet signal is often more accurate than any external explanation. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust that signal, because what is coming will not reveal itself fully through logic alone. It will require you to combine what you see with what you sense, to hold both observation and intuition at the same time, to resist the urge to make quick decisions based only on what appears comfortable or familiar. There is also something important you must understand. Not everything hidden is negative, and not everything revealed is positive. This is where many become confused. They assume that if something is not immediately clear, it must be wrong. Or if something feels easy, it must be right. But that is not always true. Some of the most important opportunities come wrapped in uncertainty at first, and some of the most distracting paths come wrapped in comfort. This is why discernment must go deeper than surface-level interpretation. You are being asked to hold space for the moment without rushing it, to allow the interaction to unfold while remaining fully present, to observe not just what is being offered, but how it aligns with your inner clarity. Because alignment is not just about what something looks like, it is about how it resonates with who you are becoming. You are not the same person you were before. Your awareness has shifted. Your perception has evolved. And because of that, what once seemed acceptable may no longer feel aligned. What once felt unclear may now become obvious. This is growth. This is transformation. And this is exactly why this moment is significant. There will be a subtle test within this encounter. Not a test meant to trap you, but a test meant to confirm your readiness. A moment where you must choose between reacting quickly or observing deeply, between accepting immediately or understanding first, between following habit or following awareness. And that choice will not feel dramatic in the moment. It will feel simple, quiet, almost unnoticeable. But its impact will extend far beyond that single interaction. Archangel Michael is not asking you to doubt everything. He's asking you to see clearly, to remain centered, to trust the clarity that arises when you are fully present and not distracted by assumptions. This is your moment to step into a higher level of perception, to move beyond automatic responses, to engage with awareness instead of habit. Because once you begin to see beyond appearances, everything changes. The way you interpret people, the way you respond to opportunities, the way you navigate moments that once felt confusing, all of it becomes clearer, more intentional, more aligned. And this is exactly what you are being prepared for. So when the moment arrives, do not rush. Do not assume. Do not ignore what you feel beneath the surface. Stay present, stay aware, and allow your discernment to guide you toward what is true. Type "I trust my discernment" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6666 is now activated. There is something you must understand at a deeper level now. Something that may challenge the way you have interpreted opportunities in the past. Not every open door is meant for you to walk through immediately. Not every invitation is meant to be accepted without question. And not every opportunity is as pure as it appears on the surface. This is where the message becomes more serious, more precise, and more necessary for you to fully absorb. Because within what appears to be a gift, there can also exist a hidden layer, a subtle trap that is not designed to harm you directly, but to misdirect you, to pull your focus slightly off course, to shift your energy just enough that you begin moving in a direction that feels right at first, but slowly leads you away from alignment. This is not something obvious. It does not come with warning signs that are easy to detect. It does not announce itself as something negative. Instead, it blends in. It feels acceptable. It fits just enough within your expectations that you may not question it immediately. And that is exactly why awareness is required at a higher level right now. Archangel Michael is revealing that the moment you are approaching carries dual layers. On one level, there is potential. There is something real that can benefit you, something that can open a path forward. But on another level, there is also a possibility of misinterpretation, a subtle shift that could lead you to engage in a way that is not fully aligned with your true direction. And this is where the trap exists, not in the gift itself, but in how it is perceived. You see, the trap is not always something that blocks you. Sometimes, it is something that slightly redirects you. It invites you to invest your time, your attention, your energy into something that feels productive, feels meaningful, but ultimately pulls you away from what is most important. It creates a sense of urgency where there should be stillness. It encourages quick decisions where there should be observation. This is why you must slow down, because the trap only works when you move too quickly, when you respond without pausing, when you accept without questioning, when you assume without sensing. And this is exactly what you are being prepared to avoid. There will be a moment during this encounter where something feels slightly off, not enough to alarm you, not enough to clearly reject, but enough to create a pause. That pause is not confusion. That pause is guidance. It is your awareness signaling that something requires deeper attention before you move forward. Do not ignore that moment. Do not override it with logic. Do not silence it with assumptions. Because that moment is where clarity begins. Archangel Michael is not asking you to reject the opportunity outright. He is asking you to examine it fully, to look at it from every angle, to feel into it without rushing toward a conclusion. Because when you take that time, the truth reveals itself naturally. The layers become clear. The intention behind the moment becomes visible. There is also something else you must recognize. The trap may not come from negative intent. It may not be something designed to harm you consciously. Talon's misdirection comes simply from misalignment, from something that is not meant for you, even if it appears valuable, from something that belongs to a different path, a different timing, a different version of who you used to be. And if you are not aware, you may step into it out of habit, out of familiarity, out of the desire to not miss out. But this is where your growth is being tested. Because growth is not just about recognizing what is good. It is about recognizing what is right for you. There is a difference. Something can be good and still not be aligned. Something can be valuable and still not belong to your path. Something can look like progress and still lead you away from your true direction. This is the level of discernment you are being called into now. You are no longer operating from surface-level decisions. You are being invited into intentional awareness, into a space where every choice is made with clarity, not impulse. with understanding, not assumption. And this moment will reveal whether you are ready to stand in that awareness fully. There will be no external pressure forcing you to decide. The pressure, if it appears, will come internally. A sense of urgency, a subtle push to act quickly, to respond immediately, to not miss the chance. And that is where you must remain steady, because what is meant for you will not require rushed decisions. What is aligned will remain clear even when you take your time. What is true will not disappear simply because you chose to pause and observe. This is how you separate the gift from the trap, not by rejecting everything, but by engaging with awareness, by allowing clarity to come before action, by trusting that your ability to see beyond the surface is enough to guide you correctly. And as this moment approaches, remember this clearly: you are not being tested to fail. You are being positioned to succeed at a higher level of awareness than before. So stay grounded. Stay present. Stay aware of the subtle signals within you, because the difference between alignment and misdirection will not be loud. It will be quiet, and it will be found in your willingness to pause. Type "I see the truth" clearly in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is now activated. There is something you must feel deeply now, not just understand intellectually. You are not standing in this moment unguarded. You are not navigating this encounter alone. And you are certainly not exposed to what is coming without protection. Before the person arrives, before the words are spoken, before the gift is presented, there is already a covering placed over you, intentional, precise, and unwavering. Archangel Michael stands not as a distant observer, but as an active protector over your space. And when we speak of your door, understand this clearly: it is not just a physical door. It is every entry point into your life, your mind, your energy, your emotions, your decisions, your path. Every place where something can enter and influence your direction is being watched, guarded, and filtered with divine precision. But protection does not mean control. You are still given choice. You are still given awareness. You are still given the responsibility to respond. Because protection does not remove your ability to decide. It strengthens your ability to choose correctly. This is what you must understand now. Archangel Michael does not block every experience. He does not remove every challenge. He does not eliminate every moment of uncertainty. Instead, he positions you so that nothing can enter your life without you first having the awareness to recognize it. Nothing reaches you without passing through a layer of protection that allows you to see clearly, if you are willing to look. This is why this message came before the moment. This is why you are being prepared in advance. Because protection has already been activated, you are now being aligned to cooperate with it. There is a powerful truth here that many overlook. Protection is not just about what is kept out. It is also about what is allowed in with clarity. It is about ensuring that when something approaches you, you are not blind to its nature. You are not unaware of its impact. You are not passive in your response. And right now, you are being elevated into that level of awareness. You may have noticed, even recently, that certain things no longer reach you the way they used to. Certain influences feel weaker. Certain distractions lose their hold more quickly. Certain people or situations no longer affect you as deeply as before. That is not coincidence. That is evidence of protection already working in your life. Something has been filtering what reaches you. Something has been limiting what can influence you. Something has been strengthening your inner stability so that when moments like this arise, you are not easily shaken. And now, As this encounter approaches, that protection becomes even more active. But here is where your role becomes essential. Protection does not replace awareness. It works with it. If you ignore what you feel, you bypass the protection. If you rush without observing, you step outside of it. If you dismiss your inner signals, you weaken the very guidance that is trying to support you. This is why Archangel Michael is not simply guarding your door. He is guiding your perception. He is aligning your awareness so that you recognize what stands before you, so that you do not open your door blindly, so that you do not reject something without understanding, so that you remain in control of your response. There will be a moment, subtle but significant, where you will feel the presence of this protection. It may come as a sudden clarity in your thoughts, a pause that feels stronger than usual, a sense of calm that interrupts a moment that could have been rushed. That is not random. That is intervention without force. That is protection guiding you without taking your choice away. And this is where trust becomes essential. Not blind trust in the situation, but trust in your ability to recognize what is right. Trust in the awareness that has been building within you. Trust in the preparation that has already taken place. Because you are not stepping into this moment unprepared. You are stepping into it supported. You are stepping into it covered. You are stepping into it with a level of awareness that you did not have before. And that changes everything. The door represents decision. It represents what you allow into your life. It represents what you engage with and what you step away from. And now, that door is not unguarded. It is aligned with your awareness. So when the moment comes, do not hesitate out of fear. Do not rush out of pressure. Stand in your awareness. Feel the protection around you. And respond with clarity. Because nothing will reach you that you are not capable of understanding. Nothing will stand before you that you are not prepared to face. And nothing will pass through your door without you first being given the chance to see it clearly. Type "I am protected and aware" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8888 is now activated. As you receive this protection, understand that this message is not only covering you. It is meant to reach countless others who are standing at their own doors, unaware of what is approaching. Every seed you sow into this mission becomes a shield for someone else, a light placed at the exact moment they need clarity. The word declares, those who sow in faith will reap in abundance, and this is your moment to step into that living promise. I feel this strongly. I am choosing to be part of this divine flow, to help carry this message where it must go next. When you give through Super Thanks or the PayPal link in the description, you are not donating. You are activating a spiritual exchange that multiplies beyond what you can see. Your generosity becomes protection for another soul. Your action becomes alignment with heaven's movement. So act now. Release your seed through the PayPal link or QR code, and step into the flow of divine covering and increase. There comes a moment in every person's life that does not look like a turning point while it is happening, but later, when everything unfolds, it becomes clear that it changed everything. This is that kind of moment for you. Not loud, not dramatic, not something that announces itself with certainty, but quiet, precise, and powerful in a way that will shape what comes next in your life. Because what is about to happen is not just about the person arriving, or the gift being presented, or even the awareness you have been building. It all leads to one thing, the decision you will make in that moment. And that decision will not feel as heavy as it truly is. It will feel simple. It will feel like just another response. It will feel like something small. But beneath that simplicity is a deeper impact, one that reaches far beyond the moment itself. This is why Archangel Michael has been preparing you step by step. Not just to recognize the situation, not just to observe the details, but to arrive at this exact point, where your awareness meets your choice. Because awareness without decision changes nothing. You can see clearly and still choose incorrectly if you do not remain present. You can feel the truth and still ignore it if you fall back into habit. You can recognize the moment and still miss its purpose if you rush through it. And that is why this section matters more than anything before it. When the moment arrives, you will be faced with a choice that does not announce itself as a test, but it is one. A choice between what is easy and what is aligned, between what feels immediate and what feels true, between reacting out of familiarity and responding from awareness. And here is what you must understand clearly. The decision will not come with pressure from the outside. It will come from within you. A subtle urge to respond quickly. A quiet pull to accept or reject without fully observing. A familiar pattern trying to guide your reaction before your awareness has time to fully engage. This is where everything slows down. This is where you must pause, even if only for a moment. Because in that pause, clarity will reveal itself. In that stillness, your awareness will speak. In that brief space between reaction and response, you will feel what is truly right. But if you skip that pause, if you move too quickly, if you allow habit to take over, the moment will pass before you fully see it, and the decision will already be made. Archangel Michael is not asking you to overthink. He is asking you to remain present long enough to let clarity surface naturally. Because when you do, the right choice will not feel forced. It will feel steady. It will feel grounded. It will feel aligned in a way that does not require explanation. There is also something deeper happening here. This decision is not only about this moment, it is about who you are becoming. Every choice you make from awareness strengthens your ability to live in alignment. Every time you choose clarity over impulse, you reshape your path. Every moment you trust your discernment, you move further into the life that is meant for you. And this is one of those defining moments. You may not see the full impact immediately. You may not understand all the consequences right away. But what you choose in that moment will begin a chain of events that will unfold over time. That is why it matters. That is why you were prepared in advance. That is why this message reached you before the moment itself. Because when the decision comes, it will not wait. It will not pause for you. It will not repeat itself in the same way. It will simply present itself, and your response will shape what follows. There is no need for fear in this. There is no need for hesitation rooted in doubt. Because you are not the same person you were before. You have been prepared. You have been aligned. You have been made aware. And that means you are capable of making the right choice. But you must trust that. You must trust what you feel when you are still. You must trust what becomes clear when you are present. You must trust that the awareness within you is enough. Because it is. So when the moment comes, do not rush. Do not fall back into automatic patterns. Do not let the simplicity of the moment cause you to overlook its depth. Pause. Feel. See clearly. And choose with intention. Because this decision is not just about what happens next. It is about the direction your path takes from this point forward. Type "I choose" with clarity in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9999 is now activated. There is something deeper beneath this moment that you must now become aware of, something that goes beyond the person, beyond the gift, and even beyond the decision itself. This moment is not isolated. It is connected to a pattern, one that has appeared in different forms throughout your life, one that may have gone unnoticed until now, one that has quietly influenced your path more than you realize. And this is where everything becomes clear, because what is about to happen is not entirely new. It is familiar, not in the exact form, not with the same people, not with the same details, but in essence, in energy, in the way it presents itself. There is something about this moment that echoes something you have experienced before. A similar choice, a similar feeling, a similar crossroads where you had to decide how to respond. You may not have recognized it at the time. You may not have understood why certain situations repeated, why certain outcomes felt connected, why certain lessons seemed to return in different forms. But now, you are being shown the truth. This is your opportunity to break that pattern. Archangel Michael reveals that patterns do not repeat to trap you. They repeat to give you another chance to respond differently. They return, not because you failed, but because something within the experience was not fully completed. Something was not fully seen. Something was not fully understood. And until it is, the pattern continues to appear in new forms. But this time is different. This time, you are aware. This time, you are prepared. This time, you are not walking into the moment unconsciously. You are stepping into it with clarity. And that changes everything. Because patterns only continue when responses remain the same. If you react the same way, the outcome remains similar. If you respond from habit, the cycle continues. If you choose based on old thinking, the pattern repeats. But the moment you respond differently, the moment you pause where you used to rush, the moment you observe where you used to assume, the moment you trust your awareness instead of your impulses, that is where the pattern breaks. That is where everything shifts. There may have been times in your past where you accepted something too quickly, only to later realize it was not aligned. Times where you ignored a subtle feeling, only to understand later that it was guiding you. Times where you made decisions based on familiarity instead of clarity, and those decisions led you back to the same kind of outcome. This is not something to regret. This is something to recognize. Because those moments were not failures, they were preparation. They were showing you what happens when awareness is not fully engaged. They were teaching you, slowly, what you are now ready to apply fully. And now here you are again, but not the same. Stronger, clearer, more aware, more capable of seeing what you could not see before. This is why this moment carries so much weight. Because it is not just about what happens next. It is about what no longer needs to happen again. Archangel Michael is making this clear. You are not meant to repeat what you have already outgrown. You are not meant to circle back into the same cycle. You are not meant to walk the same path with a different face, a different situation, a different version of the same lesson. You are meant to move forward. But forward movement requires a different response. And that response begins with awareness. When the person arrives, when the moment unfolds, when the decision presents itself, there will be a subtle familiarity in the energy of the situation. A quiet recognition, even if you cannot immediately explain it. That recognition is your signal. It is showing you that this is not just a new moment. It is a repeated opportunity, now seen through a clear lens. Do not ignore that recognition. Do not dismiss it. Do not convince yourself that this time is exactly the same. Because while the pattern may resemble the past, your awareness does not. And that is what gives you the power to break it. This is not about resisting the moment. This is about transforming your response to it. Because when you respond from clarity instead of habit, the pattern loses its hold. When you choose differently, the cycle ends. When you trust what you now see, instead of what you once assumed, everything changes. This is your moment to close a loop that has been open longer than you realize, to step out of repetition and into progression, to move beyond what has been familiar and into what is aligned. And you are ready for this, not because the moment is easy, but because you are no longer the same. Type "I break the cycle" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1010 is now activated. There is one final layer to this moment that cannot be ignored, one truth that sits at the center of everything you have heard so far. Before the person arrives, before the gift is presented, before the decision is made, there is something that must already be established within you. Something that cannot wait until the moment unfolds. Something that must be claimed now, in advance, if you are to fully step into what is meant for you. That something is your alignment with the blessing itself. Because here is the truth that many overlook. Blessings are not always received at the moment they appear. They are recognized and claimed internally before they ever take form externally. If your mind is unclear, if your spirit is unsettled, if your awareness is scattered, you can stand in front of something meant for you and still fail to receive it fully. Not because it was not given, but because you were not aligned to recognize it. This is why preparation is not just about awareness of the person or the situation. It is about readiness within you. You must already decide the kind of energy you will stand in. You must already choose the clarity you will hold. You must already anchor yourself in the understanding that what is meant for you will not confuse you, will not rush you, and will not require you to abandon your discernment in order to receive it. This is the blessing you must claim now, not something external, but something internal. A state of clarity, a state of calm, a state of grounded awareness that does not waver when the moment arrives. Archangel Michael is making this clear. If you wait until the person stands before you to find your balance, you may already be too late. Because the moment will move quickly. The interaction will unfold naturally. And without that internal alignment already established, you may find yourself reacting instead of responding, interpreting instead of understanding, choosing before you have fully seen. This is why you are being called now to settle within yourself, to remove the noise, to step out of distraction, to bring your focus inward and establish a sense of stillness that cannot be easily shaken. Because from that stillness, everything becomes clearer. From that alignment, every word carries more meaning. From that grounded state, every signal becomes easier to recognize. There is also something else you must acknowledge. Sometimes, the greatest challenge is not rejecting what is misaligned. It is accepting what is truly meant for you. There may be a part of you that hesitates when something real appears. A part that questions whether it is too good, too unexpected, too different from what you are used to. That hesitation can cause you to pull back from something that is actually aligned. This is why clarity must exist before the moment, so that you do not reject out of doubt what is meant to move you forward, so that you do not overanalyze what is already clear, so that you do not allow past experiences to distort present truth. The blessing you must claim now is not just discernment. It is trust in your ability to recognize alignment when it appears. Trust that you will know. Trust that you will feel the difference. Trust that clarity will come when you remain still. Because it will. You are not being left to figure this out alone. You are being guided, prepared, and positioned so that when the moment arrives, you are already standing in the right state to meet it. But you must step into that state now, not later, not when it feels more convenient, not when the moment is already unfolding. Now, Take a moment to feel your awareness settle, to let your thoughts slow down, to allow your focus to return to the present. Because this is where your power is, not in reacting to what comes, but in being prepared before it arrives. Archangel Michael is not asking you to do something complicated. He's asking you to be clear, to be steady, to be aligned with the truth that you are capable of recognizing what is meant for you and what is not. This is the blessing, not something you wait to receive, but something you step into. And when you do, everything that follows becomes easier to understand. The person will arrive. A moment will unfold. The choice will present itself. But you will not be the same. You will be ready. You will be clear. You will be aligned. And that alignment will allow you to receive what is truly meant for you without confusion, without fear, and without hesitation. So claim this now, not with words alone, but with awareness. Stand in it. Hold it. Trust it. Because what you establish within yourself before the moment arrives will determine everything that follows. Type "I claim my alignment" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1111 is now activated. This is the moment where everything comes together. Not tomorrow. Not later. Not at some distant point when things feel clearer or more comfortable. Right now. Because what you have been hearing, what you have been feeling, what has been building within you through every section of this message, it was never meant to remain as understanding alone. It was meant to lead you here, to action, to awareness that does not wait, to a readiness that does not delay. Because there is something you must face honestly now. A window connected to this moment is not permanent. It is not something that will stay open indefinitely while you take your time deciding whether to engage with it. It is precise. It is timed. It is moving toward you even now, and when it arrives, it will not pause to ask if you are ready. It will simply present itself, and your response will either align you with it or cause you to miss it. This is what makes this a warning, not just a message. Archangel Michael does not speak with urgency without reason. And the urgency you feel right now is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create focus. It is meant to pull you fully into the present so that nothing distracts you, nothing clouds your awareness, nothing pulls you away from the clarity you have been building. Because the truth is, missing this moment will not feel like a dramatic loss. It will feel subtle. It will feel like something small passed by. It will feel like just another interaction that did not stand out enough to matter. And that is what makes it so easy to overlook. But later, when time unfolds, when connections become clearer, when the impact of this moment reveals itself, you would look back and realize that something significant was placed in front of you and it slipped past, not because it was hidden completely, but because it was not recognized in time. This is why you cannot afford to drift into distraction now. This is why you cannot allow your awareness to fade. This is why you must remain present in a way that you may not have been before. Because the difference between receiving this blessing and missing it will not be based on luck. It will be based on awareness. It will be based on whether you stayed aligned long enough to see clearly. It will be based on whether you trusted what you felt in the moment instead of defaulting to habit. This is your final preparation. Not more information. Not more explanation. But a call to stay awake. To stay grounded. To stay connected to the clarity you now carry. Archangel Michael is not asking you to chase the moment. He is asking you to be ready for it. To meet it with the awareness you have built. To stand in the alignment you have already claimed. To trust that what you have received through this message is enough to guide you when the moment arrives. There is no need to second-guess yourself now. No need to question whether you will recognize it. Because if you remain present, if you remain grounded, if you remain aware, you will. But you must choose that now. Not when it happens. Now. Choose to stay alert. Choose to stay still within. Choose to not let distraction pull you away from what you already sense is important. Because May 17th is not just approaching, it is carrying something with it. A moment, a meeting, a decision, a shift that will not announce itself loudly, but will reveal its significance through your awareness. And when it arrives, you will either step into it with clarity or let it pass through unnoticed. This is the final warning, and not to create pressure, but to anchor your focus, not to cause fear, but to awaken your awareness fully. You have been prepared. You have been aligned. You have been made aware. And now, you must remain ready, because the moment is closer than you think. Type "I do not miss my moment" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1212 is now activated. As this final warning settles into your spirit, understand this truth: what you have just received is not only for you. It is meant to reach countless others standing on the edge of their own divine moment. Every time you support this mission through Super Thanks or PayPal, you are sowing a seed into souls who are about to miss what heaven is trying to reveal. The word speaks clearly. Those who sow generously will reap generously. And right now, that promise is alive and waiting for your response. I feel this strongly within. I am stepping forward, not just as a listener, but as a vessel to help carry this message to those who are still unaware. Your giving is not a donation. It is a prophetic act that opens doors, releases clarity, and multiplies light into lives that need it most. As you sow, heaven responds. As you give, doors open. As you act, alignment increases. So move now. Release your seed through the PayPal link in the description or the QR code on your screen, and become part of the divine flow that ensures no soul misses their moment.